The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
McManus family making the news again, Shaun.
Yeah.
If you got the Sunday Times yesterday, you would have seen the back page of the paper. It was a whole heap of babies.
Can I just say the dumbest graphic ever? I mean, love you, Sunday Times.
Yeah.
All right, in the
Yeah, I did see your article, Nat.
But like, come
about
on.
Turkey.
Come on.
Yeah, we'll put it on our Nathan and Shaun Instagram stories as well, so you can check it out.
Like, so they had a bunch of babies and they superimposed the photos of, so the heads were the next generation of players, basically.
Yeah, and what they are now. And I understand over the weekend, right, because the Fremantle Dockers played on Thursday night, so there was a void,
about. Yes.
and West Coast weren't playing, so they needed to go, what can we come up with?
Cobble together a story.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some of Sons of AFL guys out there. So there's a whole heap of Banfields, and shout out to all the boys there. They're a great bunch.
3 Banfields for the price of one. Well done. So that's Drew Banfield's children.
Yeah, Drew and Amber. Amber will be listening, so shout out to Amber. She's awesome. And Drew is amazing. We're really good friends with them. And Taj Longy was in there, so Troy's son. And then there was...
That's Longmuir.
Yep.
Yep.
Then there was Jaron Carr and Brett Heady's son and Glenn Jakovic's son also in there.
Yeah.
So you look at the back page and you thought, oh, my God, what's going on here? Then when you open it up, there was actually photos of the kids.
Yep.
And, a guy doing a synopsis of those. First of all, I just think them being young and them playing their... forging their own identity in footy.
It's tough.
Whether they get to whatever level they get to, I don't think it's the right thing for them to do.
I agree.
It's not fair on them.
They're 17. Some of these kids are 17.
And that media attention, how do you feel as a dad with your son having that media attention in the paper?
I just don't think it's fair.
It just mounts expectation that they don't deserve to have mounted on them, basically.
They don't.
It's not. He didn't ask to be born to you.
No.
No one would.
I can't argue that, Nat. You got me on this one. Yeah.
But I was surprised when I read it, when I saw the article, though, Shaun, to discover that you've got another son.
That's right. That's why I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. So in there is my nephew, Jackson McManus, who's playing for East Fremantle. And
he's not your nephew, according to the Sunday Times, and they would have fact-checked for sure. He's your son.
Yeah.
He's Ollie's older brother.
Yeah.
And your son. Jackson.
Yeah.
And then they had a picture of Ollie and said that was Jackson, yeah?
Yeah, they did. They had Ollie and Cooper in my arms at one game.
Yeah.
And it was of the presumption that one of them was Jackson,
Right.
which was Cooper.
Yes.
And then the other fact is that obviously Lachlan is my oldest son, and he's ready. He sees that as well. He's going, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, is there was a picture of Matthew Carr, his wife Leith, and their kids in a picture, and they had in the insert Josh Carr and family.
So a couple of things wrong.
So Jaron Carr, who's his dad?
Matthew.
Matthew, right.
And
they attributed him to Josh.
Drafted to the Fremantle Dockers, and he's currently there at the moment.
Yeah.
But they had the story, and it was all written out. But then the picture insert was no. They had Matthew's picture. They just put Josh Carr and his family.
Somebody, what did they have their work experience kit on?
I don't know.
There was no byliner on it either. So no one.
What does that mean, Matt?
So normally a story will say, you know who wrote it. But this one, it didn't say. It doesn't say. So no, the byline is there by such and such.
No one wanted to put their name to it. It was like a patchwork of stuff.
Maybe it was the editor's son did it. Like it was just a full Nepo baby story in every respect.
So what did they put it up for?
I don't know. I don't know.
They had no facts right.
No, that's right. Lachlan McManus is your son. Jackson McManus is a nephew.
Absolutely.
Oliver McManus is your son.
Yes. Yes. And it's Matthew Carr, everybody.
Shaun's nodding like, that does sound right.
Yeah, that does sound right.
Look, we want to know, have you noticed where you went, hang on, that's not right, whatever it might be?
Yeah, well, I've got another thing to add in here, and when the Rising Star takes place.
Yes.
And every round there's a person who gets nominated.
Yes.
Those guys get to go over to Melbourne, they have a gala dinner, and they award the winner of the Rising Star.
Very official.
Very official. So Paul Medhurst, he was one of the Rising Stars. So he was in Melbourne. They call each individual up there. They get an interview. Gary Lyon was the host at this particular time. Got Paul up there. Great season. One of the highlights, that kind of stuff. And they present them with a picture, framed picture of themselves playing.
Oh, amazing.
With a plaque that says not Rising Star, what round it is, all that kind of stuff. They presented Paul with a different photo. It was a guy called Ben Cunningham. He's a ripper bloke too, but in our team, a completely different human.
And that's in the award.
In the award, and Paul's and Meadows is standing up there, and he's going, "I'm not taking it." Gary Lyon's like, "Just take it, mate. Get off the stage." That kind of thing. He goes, "No, I'm not taking it.
That's not me.
I'm not taking it. It's not me." And he stood firm and he walked off, and it was brilliant by Paul.
Done.
He didn't take their crap to be able to go go with it.
Agreed.
He didn't at all.
Oh, we want to know, have you been in a situation where you're like, hang on a second, that is not right?
Yep.
It reminded me of when a couple of years ago at the Radio Awards, this is the year that our little show got nominated for the big
final
award. Yeah, that's
X
right.
years.
After 20 years. But that wasn't one of the early awards in the night was our beautiful colleague Claire. So her name is Claire Douch. Now, so the way it works is they get up there, the presenters say this is the award and here are the nominees, and then a voiceover reads out the names of the nominees, and she was one of them, and then the girl had to open the envelope and say, and the winner is. So the voiceover has just said what her name is.
Yeah.
Claire, incredible, wins this award, right? So there's a nationwide sales award. This is a big deal. And the girl, our colleague's name is Claire Douch. The girl looks at the card and then she sort of points to the guy that she's co-presenting with and like, how do I say that? The voiceover just told you for starters. And she says, Clara Douche. And Claire's sitting there going, oh, wait, is that me? Did I win? Like, yeah.
How do you get Clara out of Claire, first of all, and have to ask somebody for that?
Just probably panicking on the last name.
Yeah.
And then just...
And then opted for douche.
Yeah.
Bad move.
That's not right.
So that she got it wrong. Yeah. Tina's in Mandurah. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Great, Tina. Okay, when did they just get it wrong?
At our wedding. My wife and I were married, and at the very end, instead of saying Mrs. and Mrs., they said, we'd like to welcome Mr. and Mrs.
Oh,
and it's on our wedding video. It's all stuck there and we can't get rid of it.
Oh, Tina. I mean, it's obviously force of habit, but it's like, get with the times, everybody.
We're standing in front of you.
Yeah.
That's the big moment as well. How did you react when that happened?
It was actually quite funny.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a bit of a laugh.
We didn't mind. Yeah, everybody thought it was hilarious.
That's like, it reminds me of when Peter Dutton was in Parliament and he kept saying Mr. Speaker, and the Speaker was a woman, and she said, I would like to remind you, Mr. Dutton, that I'm a woman. And he said, I'm so sorry, Mr. Speaker. It's like, stop it. Stop it. There's a woman in the role now. Oh, Tina, thank you.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Great news, everybody. Our favourite accordionist, Hans, is headed our way. He's doing his show Young, Fun and 21, July 4th and 5th. So one show in Perth, one in Mandurah. Get your tickets from hansofficial.com. We had the opportunity to catch up with him the other day, except that when our producer Amy was trying to call him, it was going to voicemail and she was furious. We did finally get a hold of him. Have a listen. I decided to answer your phone, did you?
Oh, hello.
Can I tell you, I've got the best excuse. Honey, I had the Jehovah's Witness here.
No,
Did you really?
didn't.
They've left me a pamphlet. How do you view the future? Will our world stay the same, get worse, or get better? And I have a feeling I don't need the Bible to tell me this.
Hans, here's the thing, Hans. They would have been leaving there going that we can't help him.
I thought that might have been the case. I thought I'll open the door and then they're just going to slam it in my face.
Yeah.
Normally it's the other way around. But, you know,
So funny.
a lost cause. I know. And also, I didn't think they did that anymore. 'Cause, you know, you see them in the malls and everything. Now they just stand around. I haven't had them at my door forever.
Yeah, I thought COVID would have stopped that.
Yeah, did they roll over on the? Did they come over on their bikes? You know, they used to get around the pushies.
I think that was
That's
the Mormons.
Oh, the Mormons.
Yes.
Sorry, I must have offended a whole lot of people there.
These two were getting their steps up. They were.
And they
Wow, that's great.
Oh, Hans. Well, magical to catch up with you because you're headed to Perth finally. Like, you've been travelling all over, you've been doing everything, and you haven't been back to Perth in a long time. This is more than a year and a half. We're counting.
Is it that long since we've seen you?
Exactly.
Yes.
Shit.
It has been over a year and a half, and isn't it great that now I'm going to be coming back to Perth spiritually cleansed? I mean, after my visit this morning.
Finally.
God bless you, my son.
And we'll give him a hosing down at the border as well. Just to be on the
that
side.
might be, you know, I look forward to that part. Exactly.
Hey,
Just
Hans,
the deep sanitization. Yes.
100%. So you're 21, and I'm afraid
Can you believe it?
I'm afraid to ask this question, but what moisturiser do you use to look so young?
Well, I mean, I can't say at this time of the morning, but I will say if you want to try it out, I'll send you, my hotel room for after the show.
Right.
Look, but you know,
you FaceTime me one night.
I'll FaceTime you one.
Oh, he'll give you some FaceTime, don't worry.
Cut
You're
it
not
out.
screen recording, are you, honey?
Hans, the show, it's about your birthday celebration, Young, Fun and 21. What is your date of birth again? Can you remind us?
Listen, it's classified. Date and place of birth seem to be classified. But, this is what this show's about. I'm clearing up a lot of rumors in this show. There are, I can hear a bit of skepticism in your voice. There are people out there, believe it or not, who don't think that I am turning 21. There are even
or
people
that you're German.
Correct. And,
your whole life is a lie.
I'm sick of the lies, Nat, I'm sick of the speculation. I'm like Meghan Markle, aren't I?
You are.
You're a victim. You're right.
Except I'm putting on a show that people want to see. But,
hey, Hans, Nat said earlier on you've been very busy and you haven't come here and all that. Did I see you doing the weather on Sunrise?
Yes.
Talk me through it.
Did we see it?
Talk me through it, my friend.
Did you see it? Listen, I'm so happy it made it to Perth. Sam Mack, who is, he's Perth's own, really, in a lot of ways. Yeah. He was on leave, and then they have another girl, Katie Brown, filling in for him, but she was away. So who do you call when I'm the fill-in? So I was there, and, I thought, how hard can it be? Apparently, not very hard. An idiot could do that job. I'm going to be very honest.
So we're all right.
And look, an idiot has been doing that job, kids. That's all I'll say. It went very well. We got a lot of lovely feedback on social media. I'm sure you're probably going to get the same sort of messages after my appearance this morning.
Oh, we always do, yes.
You know what? It's all content, honey. It's all content. And the good thing is, it all makes my live show because, I can respond to these people live on television, but imagine the shit I can say live on stage. That's all I'll say.
Hans, I must commend you too on your bravery because after your trauma of a couple of years ago, I noticed that you were back on a cruise ship. Did you learn nothing from that horrendous accident that you had?
You know what? Nat, you'll understand this. I heard the money calling. We all end up doing things that we don't want to do.
She's loud sometimes, isn't she?
Exactly. We focus on that paycheck, much like you three are doing this morning on the radio.
That's true.
Always.
That place is practically your Vietnam, but you still keep going back.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
I tell you what.
I'm headed to Turkey on my holidays, actually, in a couple of weeks' time. And just in case I fall over, do you have a hospital contact that I can use?
Oh, my God. I can't tell you the name of the doctor that I had in Turkey because you would literally have to censor it. Look, just get the buzzer ready. I'm going to tell you his name.
Okay.
Nat, can you imagine my shock when the nurse walked in Turkey and said, your doctor will be here soon, Dr. Mork. I'm not making that up.
I want to see the spelling.
Contact, yes. I'll send it to you, Nat.
Great. Good to know.
He's also good for a hair transplant, teeth,
some new boobs.
He'll do the full suite. Absolutely, Nat.
I mean, I'm only going for the Turkish delight, but, why not you grab a little special if there's one going,
Sadly, I didn't have any Turkish delight while I was there, in any sense of the word. Turkish delight, afternoon delight.
Well, you did spend your time on your back, but it wasn't for the right reasons.
Correct. Not how I was planning on spending it in Turkey, unfortunately.
What do they call Turkish bread in Turkey?
Bread.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Hans, you are hitting Mandra. You fan of Mandra and the Manchurians?
What do I need? I've been there once before, and I seem to have erased it from my memory. What should I be expecting in there?
Crabs, yeah.
I like the crabs.
Oh, well,
You've caught crabs in worse places, haven't you?
Exactly. Well, Turkey. Look, I'm a fan of Mandra. I will say I do remember there were brilliant audiences in Mandra and brilliant audiences in Perth. It's almost like nobody bothers to come over there. So, thank God I am. And, it's the biggest thing to hit Perth since Coldplay.
Yeah, wow.
They're saying that. I did hear that.
What I am amazed by when you do go to a Hans show is the audience, in fact, was not who I thought would be going to your show.
I know.
Because I came and saw your show at Fringe World and we walked in and went, are we in an old people's home? And so we started talking to people around us and we're like, how do you know of Hans? And they were like, oh, no, we love him on Sunrise. Sunrise is your gateway to the senior citizens of our land.
Well, now he's the weather girl as well.
Oh, my God. I look out at that audience and I think to myself sometimes, maybe I've gone on Sunrise too many times, you know? I mean, I've been on Sunrise so much now that people think I've joined One Nation. You know what I mean? It's just me, Mark Latham, Paul Lee. They're the only ones that got on rotation.
And you've got so many things in common. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
On the 4th.
Yes.
So you can get tickets for Hans' show Young, Fun and 21 from hansofficial.com. 2 shows, one in Mandurah on the 4th, one in the Astane Mount Lawley on the 5th. And hopefully we can catch up with you when you're in town.
Yes, tape Sunrise that morning.
Okay, good idea.
Good on you, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, kids. Lots of love. See you soon.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
So it was the winter solstice on Saturday. So the good
Which is
news
what, Nat?
It was the shortest day of the year.
Yep.
So when we're furthest from the sun,
Yep, that's it.
we are
It's
now the days are getting longer, so that's great.
4 hours, 11 minutes shorter than the longest day of the year, which is the December solstice. Up until yesterday, I thought it was the solstice, and I said it in the car.
Solstice.
I was like, today's the winter solstice, Bella.
As in that it was.
As in, like, dancing.
It was solstice.
The solstice.
And then
Oh,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"No,
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
it."
Bless you. I didn't acknowledge it really, other than to think, God, it's cold and miserable today, but that probably was just the weather. But I was talking to somebody yesterday who she decided to mark the solstice by going down to Port Beach,
Yes.
stripping off and skinny dipping.
Was she a polar bear, by the way? Because that's where they...
The bears.
No, she's not a regular
Yep.
skinny dipper. But it was a thing held for the winter solstice.
Yeah.
So they did it to mark the solstice. Everybody went down to the beach, took off all their clothes, and went skinny dipping at Port Beach. And then I heard somebody else did it at Sydney Beach.
Well,
Yes.
There's thousands in Tasmania as well, but
Yeah, that's part of
saw
Dark
that one.
Mofo. So that's
Dark Mofo, yeah.
that's an established event. I didn't know that people in Perth were marking it this way.
why?
My swim group was doing the winter solstice.
Were they?
I didn't get up on Saturday morning to
Sean.
join them at all. So there's about 100 people.
So were
in that
they
as well.
fully nude swimming, or what were they doing?
I don't think so, but I
So
would
when
have
you
been.
say they were, when you say they were marking the winter solstice, they were just swimming. They were going swimming.
They were
and
going
saying,
swimming.
"This
I
is
think
for
they went down the
solstice."
beach. They had a bit of a function on, that kind of scenario.
Yeah.
That ended up with cocktails.
Oh yeah, at
I'm pretty
7 a.m.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, I think it's a great thing that anytime people are getting up in the morning and taking on something as hard as that, which is going into the ocean at that time of morning,
No.
skinny dipping,
No,
I know.
yeah.
great.
Who came up with that?
I know. Why does it have to be naked? Can't
Yeah.
you just go for a swim?
Yeah. Shortest day, coldest. Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge.
Let's get our gear off.
Let's really up it.
Yeah.
Maybe someone just was with a friend once that they really liked and said, let's do it naked.
Yeah, and it just spread from there.
Yeah.
The woman that I was talking to, she said she's not a normal nude swimmer like that. She said very unusual for her. And she said she kind of hid behind the saunas at Port Beach and then took all her clothes off, ran as fast as she could. And she said, you've never seen somebody get in and out of their bathers so quickly. Because she went, darted back up again and put them back on again as soon as she could. And like, she's a doctor. Like, she's a respected part of our community. But it's like, I
Still respect her with the clothes off, can't you?
It's a little bit of it seems like you mark the solstice as like it's a pagan ritual to me, don't you reckon?
Yeah, well, we like to jump on anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's another opportunity to go, this
yeah.
is what we did for the winter solstice.
Yeah.
When we swim to Rotto and or when I was up and did the Lake Argyle swim,
Yes.
guys in our team will always say we've got to do a nude leg. Always do a skinny dipping leg.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know, guys are like that. And I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm
you
one
know
of them.
why? Because there were no women to say, what are you talking about?
This is going to
There's
sound
always
weird.
a nude leg.
It's bonding though,
Can you
right?
stop saying nude leg, please? It's really
Yeah,
disturbing.
guys are idiots, and we do that sometimes.
We should check out if anybody got involved in the winter
Yes.
solstice by marking it by going down to the beach. Now, there was a lot of people who did, by the way. I did
Yes.
see it across everyone's socials.
Or maybe just if you're a mad skinny dipper.
Yeah, if you're a mad skinny dipper, and you can tell us why it's not a good idea all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Dave's in Woodvale. Hello.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Good, Dave.
Do you
Morning,
love a good skinny dipping story, Dave?
Yeah, well, this one's not me, but an old work colleague when I used to do the dolphin swim. So she'd get a new gentleman, and she marked it by going down to Swanbourne and making them strip off.
Yeah.
And going for a bit of a skinny dip so that she could check out the tackle and see if it was worth continuing the date or not.
It was like a try before you buy situation.
Yeah, or have a bit of a look-see, I guess. But,
window shopping.
But she was judging him before he went in the water or afterwards, because there's a big difference
Great
sometimes.
point, Sean.
I think I'm with you on that one, Sean. Yeah, it'd be a little bit cold, I'd imagine, but you'd hope for a nice hot summer's day, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
You check the forecast before you'd agree to it, wouldn't you?
And if you knew you were under the microscope, I mean...
Sorry, this particular young lady must have been fairly confident about her own rig.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, absolutely she was. Yeah, no, she didn't mind checking out the staff members when she could, and obviously you got to change into wetsuits all the time, so
Yes.
she was always...
Sounds like
always
an
on a
HR disaster. Yeah, waiting to happen. Good on you, Dave. Thanks, mate. Let's go to Tom in Byford. Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Good.
Great, Tom. You famously a bit of a skinny dipper?
No, I've only ever done it once, and I'll never do it again.
Oh, wow. What happened?
Well, this is me telling the world not to do it, because when I was a kid, I got dared by some mates to jump in the water naked. It was like 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
During winter, and I jumped off the rock wall into the water, and I landed on a swarm of jellyfish.
Oh.
And I got stings on my 3Bs, my back, bum, and balls.
Oh, how was that?
How was that? How do
I
you
mean, not
reckon?
fun, but like I've never
Look,
experienced
do not recommend.
Tom, how old were you?
0 stars.
I was about 17.
Oh,
17.
yeah.
So are you at that age where your mum comes to the party and tries to put some cream on everything, if you know what I mean?
No, but I had mates decide to wee on me.
No.
Oh, good idea.
What a great service.
Yeah.
They're true friends.
So it smelled like wee, and I was in excruciating pain for a long period of time.
And you also couldn't look your mates in the eye again.
I feel like the boys would have loved
never.
that. They would have been very
what an
entertained.
opportunity.
Tom, he just got stung.
I know, I've got an idea. I'm going to wee on you.
It's a wheel time.
Yeah. Well, all I heard was one of them say, "We've got no vinegar, wee on it." And then it happened.
You didn't ever get a chance to say, no, thank you.
That's like old wives' tale, guys.
Good on you, Tom.
Oh, Tom, that's a brutal story.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.